Well, we're going to start our time together. I want to welcome you to Genesis the Church. I'm Nate, and I'm one of the pastors here, and it is our absolute honor to be able to host you, to host the Dawson family, and to host the extensive music family of Mark's. So thank you for taking time to be with us today to celebrate Mark's life. As we go through the afternoon, we'll have opportunities with an open mic. If you have significant stories that you would like to share, we'll have opportunity for that. We're also going to hear from different musicians this afternoon in the music community. I wanted to start by reading a eulogy that was written by the Dawson family. The Dawson family eulogy for Mark. From Isaiah 57, 1 to 2, it says, "Good people pass away. The godly often die before their time. No one seems to understand that God's protecting them from the evil to come. For those who follow godly paths will rest in peace when they die." From Tolstoy's War and Peace. When you are joyful, when you say yes to life and have fun and project positivity all around you, you become a sun in the center of every constellation, and people want to be near you. Mark Aaron Dawson left us on July 16th, 2024. He was a beautiful and cherished son, brother, nephew, uncle, cousin, and friend, loved by many. We wanted to be near him. But life, in all its exaltation and complexities, consumed him. He was 46 years old, much too young for his story to end. He had so much more living to do. He had so much more to offer this world. Hugs, for one thing. The average hug lasts 3 seconds, but Mark's hugs went on and on. He grabbed hold of you and didn't let go until he squeezed the air from your lungs or cracked your back. It made you say, okay, don't break my ribs. And he would giggle, that wonderful, musical, delightful giggle of his. You know that giggle? Were any of you fortunate enough to get a Mark hug? He had so many more hugs to give. If only he had been able to let us hold on to him with our hugs. If you were ever to be a contestant on Survivor or The Great Race or playing telestrations, Mark would be the first person you would want on your team. He was the smartest and quickest to figure out the clues, the fastest runner. He could hike at high altitudes. He was a strong swimmer and could withstand the cold plunge. He was a talented artist and drew the best illustrations. But most importantly, he would wait for you to catch up, give you a hand up, put you first. Because Mark was a giver. His memory for details would astound us. We'd say, how do you remember all that? Dialogue from movies, the director, what other movies that director had made, all the actors, Star Wars trivia, Dungeons and Dragons characters and initiatives, games, lyrics from songs not his own, facts about Vikings and the Celts, ancient history of places and people, or even where a word originated. You know everything about Marvel Comics, the issue a hero or villain first appeared, the story plot, the illustrator, and of course he loved the Marvel movies. He read all genres of books, all of J.R.R. Tolkien, every book of Mark Lanigan's, Norse mythology, and prose by Shakespeare. When it came to music, he knew not only the artists, but also the backup singers, who collaborated, which type of guitar was played, who produced the CD, the sound engineer, what studio was it recorded in, and how many takes. We called it factoids, and he described himself as a nerd in the best way. His love of hot sauces was legendary. The chef at one Thai restaurant knew Mark was dining when the order came to the kitchen with instructions to make it as hot as you can. He went to the Center for Creative Studies, but dropped out. Not because he was a dropout, but because he didn't believe creativity could be manufactured on demand. His creativity was organic and abundant, but on his terms, genuine. Music was his passion. It was his creative outlet. He tended to be quiet as a child until he wasn't. He took up the drums, and like everything he did, became excellent at his craft. He taught himself guitar. Then a voice rose out of him, melodic, full of vibrato and timbre. The words and feelings he bottled up showed up in his lyrics. The songs he wrote were odes to love lost, hardships, life, fun, and even imaginary planets. He gave drum lessons at the Berkeley Music Company. He drummed with a lot of bands, then created Mod Orange, first solo, then joined by bandmates. They played all over Metro Detroit and some out-of-town gigs. He obtained his audio engineer diploma and built his own studio. He recorded Mod Orange's first CD in that studio. Mark was a talented musician by everyone's standards. Incredible, authentic, and always humble. He was also one of the bravest people we know. So brave that he gave it all up and followed a new path to New Mexico, where he was initially met with disappointment, but he persevered and found that he loved the climate, 300 plus days a year of sunshine, hot chilies, hiking the mountains, foraging and adventuring. It was here that he honed a new skill, brewing craft beer, which became his career and passion. He loved living in Santa Fe. It was there that he was immersed among other creative people, artists, writers, brewers. He made an abundance of new friends and found his tribe. He created new life stories for himself and those he inspired. Mark was the kindest among us, the brightest light, the most compassionate and empathetic. He was brilliant in intellect, loving, and generous of heart, spirit, and pocket. If you received the gift from Mark, it was always well thought out and personal. His creativity went beyond music and art and extended into all aspects of his life. Mark was the first to forgive those who wronged him, and he learned to be forgiving of himself. He was loyal to his family, his friends, and his ethics, lived a healthy lifestyle, and influenced others in many positive ways. Mark was an honorable person, always truthful, genuine, and faithful. Open-minded and enlightened, he took the time to learn other people's perspective. There was no such thing as apathy in Mark's vocabulary because he was passionate, industrious, adventurous, dynamic, and hardworking. But Mark was also gentle in soul, graceful, sensitive, and tolerant. The other side of his charm was his wonderful sense of humor and wit. Dad jokes couldn't compete with Mark. He owned that market, always full of puns. His social media posts might make you groan, but you would laugh, and he would sign them off with hashtags of punny punny. See what I did there? His outlook was so refreshing, joyful, nurturing, always supportive, and optimistic even when the going got tough. Ask anyone who ever hiked or ran cross country with him. He was a defender of animals and nature and became vegetarian in high school and remained so the entirety of his life. Mark was also a defender of the disenfranchised, the outcasts, the challenged, and the misunderstood. If anyone needed help, he was there without being asked. He was a great listener. If there was a Kickstarter fund, you could count on Mark to contribute. Mark was inherently good. If he had faults, they were few. His reticence to share his struggles with depression, we know, stemmed from his wanting to protect those he loved. It was this character trait that prevented him from reaching out for help from us, his family, and to you, his friends. He had overcome losses and deep disappointments in his life to continue living and thriving. He celebrated many successes in his musical career, but the most important successes were his many loving relationships, the friendships he cultivated and nurtured during his time here with us. He wouldn't want us to dwell in sadness or have regrets. So, today, we will celebrate Mark and his incredible life, his light, his kindness, and we will remember to love one another. We will honor him by finding joy in what he called the mundane randomness of life. We will continue the legacy he has left us, that of love, kindness, and music. Thank you.
God in grace, they say. So why can't we find a trace in the ordinary every day? you